Ave Lilitu. I am Dame Sister Gwendolyn, co-founder and one of the 3 tribunes of the Ordo Sororitatis Satanicae. We are a feminist religious order dedicated to the literary figure of Lilith. In myth and legend, she is the first of womankind and the equal of any man. In demanding her equality be acknowledged and respected, she was instead recast in the role of demoness by fearful men and their petty fictional gods. Our name, derived from Latin, translates as the Order of Satanic Sisterhood. And while we refer to ourselves as a sorority, we are egalitarian in nature and accepting of both male and female members. The archetypal rebel, embodied in the literary figure of Lucifer, still carries great meaning for us, but it is Lilith which encapsulates our defiance, equal worth, and our mission to elevate oppressed women and those wrongfully marginalized by an inconsiderate majority rule and society at large. Today, our order will deliver an inspirational invocation to our legislators, which was originally intended for the Missouri House of Representatives this past 3rd of May, the National Day of Prayer. That original request went unanswered by Speaker Todd Richardson, despite having been made in a timely manner. We determined that the importance of our message dictated that it be delivered regardless, if not to the House of Representatives, then here in the Capitol Rotunda, and for the benefit of the public as well as our lawmakers. The people of Missouri are diverse in their creeds and beliefs, and many of these lack representation in our government. It is our intent to illustrate this variance by appearing before you today and offering these sincere, heartfelt words. We are sibling Cenobites, committed to amplifying the voices of those trod upon by arbitrary authority. It is our duty to defend the weak. It is our oath that we will endeavor in this work until we are no longer needed. And yet, judging by the health of our state and its tendency in government to erode the rights and freedoms of those whom we defend, it is unlikely that we will disband in any foreseeable future. The illness of bigotry and its myriad symptoms runs deep in Missouri, misogyny not the least. It is imperative that the people be heard, especially those with the least representation and who suffer the greatest. Ave Lilitu, Ave Satanas. I give to you now Dame Sister Nikki, co-founder and Tribunal Council member of the OSS, who will impart the words first intended for our legislators, now entrusted to you, the public.
Hello. I grieve, as many mothers in Missouri, around the nation, and the world over grieve. Our children are dying due to fear and ignorance. We mourn the loss of our children. We mourn the loss of surviving children's innocence. Our children face inconceivable, extraordinary risks compared to our generation. They cannot enjoy school, a movie theater, a concert, or even attend a religious service without fear of an attack by an armed gunman. Our children are seen as prey by sexual predators, and our Missouri daughters can be married off as young as the age of 14. Missouri is the first state the NAACP has ever placed a travel warning on. Whether due to ethnicity, sexuality, or gender orientation, our children are victims in a silent war and face discrimination they do not understand and cannot comprehend. When we band together peaceably to say no more, we are met with force via tanks, shields, and automatic weapons. Our mourners are pepper sprayed. Grandmothers and children are savagely thrown to the ground. Mothers of children who experience discrimination in Missouri live in constant fear of their children being left for hours in the street in a pool of their own blood, or are targeted at school because of their sexual or gender orientation. A great disservice is being done to the women of Missouri, particularly low-income mothers who face unimaginable stigma and shaming. Lack of educational resources and programs, are often recipients of abstinence-based sex education, misleading and detrimental to their health. Their pittance of assistance is constantly under attack, all while suffering from impeded access to science and medicine-based, heavily regulated, affordable health care clinics and reproductive choice. Children of Lilith, the Lilituan cannot look away. We cannot ignore the cries of mothers who endure forced birth while their assistance is cut, their children's education is sacrificed, while food is being taken from the mouths of needy children to provide funding to non-science-based and non-regulated pregnancy care centers masquerading as medical clinics. We cannot ignore the parents who mourn. We cannot ignore the children who mourn the loss of their friends, siblings, and classmates. Before we begin our invocation, we ask that you look at the people standing around you. Really, really look at them. Look them in the eyes. Hold their gaze a moment. See them. This is a human being. This human being has a story. We cannot pretend to know their story, but we can offer them our compassion, our empathy. We can withhold our judgment long enough to consider their life's journey, the impact of that very personal experience. It is this we ask of our legislators today, to look their constituents in the eyes, to truly see them judgment-free as human beings, to empathize with their journey and experiences. We ask them to be open to reason. We will not ask you to bow your heads in submission during this invocation. We will not ask you to cast your eyes downward, to avert your gaze from the truth, from logic and empathy. Many of you have been forced into doing so for far too long. Instead, we ask each of you to tap into the essence of Lilith within all of you, within every atom you share with the universe. Pull on this thread, stand firm, and cast your head back upon your defiant shoulders, opening your countenance to reason while embracing the divine act of rebellion. This is the very nature of Lilith evil men have always sought to suppress. Set her free. And so we begin. Lilith, mother, strength, compassion, love. We ask that those assembled reflect upon these virtues in benevolent and noble service. We summon the embodiment of her divine inspiration. Guide our legislators in protecting the elderly, the disabled, and in honoring our veterans. To provide shelter and nourishment for those who have not. Guide them in thought and reason. With a deep respect for the equality and well-being of all. Love is the whole of the law. as these legislators move forward in their work on behalf of all their constituents. May they take every day in that solemn service as a renewed opportunity to reshape and refine their existence. Let the love and learning our mother represents be the daily bread of any who would serve the people. From the universal mother we came, and back to her we go. May knowledge, reason, and fairness be the path to life, liberty, and happiness. Ave Lilituan.
For today, this concludes our invocation. Go in peace, love each other, be responsible for each other, fight for each other.